Welcome to Byte-Sized Tech, Oscars edition, where we mix blockbuster tech with some award-worthy discussions. Get ready to dive into the fascinating world where, like, cutting-edge technology meets the magic of movies.
Yeah.
We've got AI, vintage cameras, and, of course, all the highlights from Hollywood's biggest night.
It really is kind of mind-blowing how tradition and innovation are blending, this year.
Yeah.
On one hand, we're seeing these film cameras making a comeback, but on the other hand, AI is really shaking things up in ways that I don't think anyone could have imagined.
Okay, so let's start with some of the Oscar highlights.
Sure.
Anora totally stole the show, snagging 5 major awards.
Yeah.
Best Picture, Best Director for Sean Baker, Best Original Screenplay,
Wow.
Best Actress for Mikey Madison, and Best Editing.
It's not every day that an indie film set in a Brooklyn strip club becomes the darling of the Oscars.
Right.
Nora is a Cinderella story, but without the fairy tale ending. And it seems to have really struck a chord with audiences who are maybe a little tired of the typical Oscar formula.
Yeah, definitely.
Plus, Sean Baker matching Walt Disney's 70-year-old record for the most Oscars won by a single person in 1 year?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Talk about a game changer. And let's not forget Adrien Brody, who won Best Actor for The Brutalist.
Right.
His second Oscar win.
His second win.
Then we have Zoe Saldana making history as the first American of Dominican origin and the first Black woman to win Best Supporting Actress for Amelia Perez.
Mm-hmm.
She even dedicated the award to her mom.
He was so sweet.
Super heartwarming.
Absolutely.
Speaking of representation, Kieran Culkin also grabbed an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor for A Real Pain.
He did.
And it wasn't just American films making waves.
No.
Latvia and Brazil celebrated their first ever Oscar wins with Flow for Best Animated Feature and I'm Still Here for Best International Feature, respectively.
That's amazing.
Flow being created with open source software is a pretty big deal too, right?
Oh, it is huge.
It's like a David versus Goliath story.
Yeah.
Showing that you don't need a giant studio to create amazing animation.
Yeah,
This win could really empower independent animators all over the world.
definitely.
It's incredible.
Now let's talk about the elephant, or should I say the AI in the room.
Uh-huh.
This technology was everywhere at the Oscars this year.
You are not kidding.
Yeah.
We saw AI used in The Brutalist to generate complex architectural blueprints.
Right.
And even refine Hungarian pronunciations for the actors
Yeah.
using a technology called Respeecher.
Wow.
And get this, in Amelia Perez, they used AI to adjust the actor's singing voice.
Wait, really? So AI is like basically auto-tuning for movies now?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's so cool and kind of scary at the same time.
I know, right? It's a lot.
Yeah.
But the use of AI in film is a very hot-button issue right now.
Yeah.
Remember the actors and writers strike earlier this year?
Yeah.
A lot of the tension stemmed from concerns about AI potentially automating creative jobs,
And leading to job displacement.
especially with OpenAI's Sora, now able to create these realistic videos from just text prompts.
It's incredible.
I know. Where do we even draw the line between human creativity and AI?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's no easy answer.
No.
Studios, on the other hand, they see dollar signs, right?
Yeah.
Lionsgate is already pouring money into AI partnerships.
Wow.
Venture capital is flooding these AI startups that aim to streamline everything from special effects to post-production.
So it's kind of a double-edged sword.
I think that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Some see it as a threat,
Yeah,
others see it as an opportunity.
exactly.
But let's not forget the ethical concerns, too.
Right.
The Make It Fair campaign, backed by big names like Paul McCartney and Andrew Lloyd Webber, is really pushing for transparency and ethical guidelines for AI in the film industry.
Yeah, they're worried about things like copyright infringement with these tech companies, potentially profiting from artists' work without permission or compensation, which is a huge concern.
It is.
And it's not just about what happens during production, right?
No, not at all.
AI is being used to analyze data and influence decisions on things like script development, casting,
Yep.
even marketing strategies.
Yeah.
It's like AI is shaping what we see on the screen before the cameras even start rolling.
It's wild.
Yeah.
It really is.
So AI is a big deal, but let's shift gears for a moment and talk about the cameras that were used in the Oscar-nominated films.
Okay.
I've heard whispers about a film camera comeback.
It's true.
Really?
It is.
That's kind of surprising considering how digital filmmaking has dominated in recent years.
It is surprising, but, in the best cinematography category, 4 out of the 5 nominated films actually used cameras from the Aircam series.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Why are filmmakers going back to film? Is it just nostalgia?
I think it's more than just nostalgia.
Uh-huh.
Many cinematographers really believe that film has a certain texture, a grain,
Yeah.
an organic feel that digital just can't quite replicate.
So speaking of film, I'm curious about the Beaumont VistaVision camera used in The Brutalist.
Yeah.
What makes that so special?
The Beaumont VistaVision is a large format film camera,
Okay.
and it's known for its incredible clarity and detail.
Yeah.
And it's actually surprisingly compact for a large format camera.
Oh, wow.
So that makes it very versatile for capturing those dynamic shots.
The filmmakers behind The Brutalist, they really wanted to showcase the raw beauty of the architecture.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like the VistaVision was the perfect tool for that job.
It really was.
And then there's the Kodak Super 8 camera used in Maria,
Right.
which is a total blast from the past.
Yeah, I mean, the Super 8 is typically associated with those home movies, experimental filmmaking.
Yeah.
So it lends a certain, nostalgic and intimate feel to Maria.
Yeah, it's like taking a time machine back to the cinema of like the 70s.
Exactly, yeah.
It's fascinating how filmmakers are blending this old and new technology to create these unique visual styles.
It's really cool.
Yeah, it's very cool.
It's a really exciting time to be a film buff, that's for sure.
Agreed.
I'm having a lot of fun.
Okay, let's move on to some of the more memorable moments from this year's Oscars.
Sure.
Conan O'Brien made his hosting debut, and let's just say he did not disappoint.
No, he did not.
His opening musical number was hilarious.
I know. A dancing Deadpool
I know.
and a piano playing sandworm from Dune Part 2. I mean, pure genius.
I loved it. It was brilliant.
And his monologue was full of those witty jabs at Hollywood and even some pointed political commentary.
He wasn't afraid to push some buttons.
And who can forget Adam Sandler rocking up on the red carpet in a turquoise hoodie?
It was about a fashion statement, right?
Yeah.
It definitely got people talking about evolving dress codes at these really formal events.
Yeah, it seems like comfort and individuality are finally getting their due.
I think so.
And then we have Kieran Culkin's acceptance speech.
Yes.
He reminded his wife about their bet to have more kids if he won both an Emmy and an Oscar. It was the perfect, awkward, endearing Kieran Culkin moment.
It really was.
He's become like the king of unintentional comedy.
Yes.
He really has.
Even the Los Angeles Fire Department got in on the fun this year, receiving a standing ovation and participating in some lighthearted moments during the show.
It was really great to see,
Yeah.
It was a good way to kind of bring a sense of community and appreciation into the event.
Yeah, it was a nice reminder that behind all the glitz and glamour, we're all just people.
Exactly.
On a less positive note, the James Bond tribute seemed to confuse some viewers, especially since there hasn't been a recent Bond film.
Yeah, I could see why some people are scratching their heads on that one.
And then there were the technical difficulties with Hulu's live stream, crashing before the show ended.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah.
Which is right.
Not good.
Yeah,
That's never fun.
definitely not. It's a reminder that even with all the technology that we have, things can still go wrong. And it also kind of highlights the importance of having those backup systems, especially for those major live events like the Oscars.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of show-stopping moments, Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo's Wizard of Oz medley was phenomenal.
It was incredible.
That rendition of Defying Gravity from Wicked gave me chills.
Their voices just blended so beautifully.
Yeah.
It was a magical performance that really brought together nostalgia and a contemporary pop culture.
It was a great reminder of the enduring power of music and storytelling and how they can transcend generations.
It really is.
And speaking of blending old and new, did you hear about the Glambot on the red carpet?
The Glambot.
The Glambot.
I did not.
Fill me in.
So the Glambot is this high-speed camera system
Okay.
directed by Cole Walliser
Okay.
that captures the slow-motion video of the celebrities.
Okay.
And it was actually originally used for food commercials.
Hooray.
Those like really mouth-watering shots of burgers and fries and stuff?
Yeah.
So how did it end up on the red carpet?
I don't know. How did it?
Well, E! Entertainment had this brilliant idea to use it for red carpet coverage back in 2016.
Oh, wow.
And it's been a hit ever since.
Really?
Because it lets celebrities showcase their outfits and personalities in this really fun and dynamic way.
I bet those slow-motion twirls and poses look incredible.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
And Cole Walliser has a real knack for making the stars feel comfortable in front of the camera.
Yeah.
He really understands the chaos of the red carpet and manages to create these beautiful, intimate moments
Yeah.
amidst all the craziness.
It must be a real challenge to operate that thing in such a hectic environment.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, the team has to capture the footage,
Right.
edit it, and upload it in real time,
Wow.
all while navigating a sea of publicists, security guards, and A-list stars.
Talk about pressure.
It's a lot,
Yeah.
but it sounds like they're pulling it off flawlessly.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, the Glambot footage has become like a staple of red carpet coverage, and it's a great example of how technology can actually enhance the viewer experience.
Yeah, totally.
Speaking of enhancing the viewer experience,
Yeah.
let's go back to that resurgence of film cameras that we were talking about earlier.
Right.
It seems like there's a real shift happening, you know?
Yeah, you mentioned that the majority of the films nominated for Best Cinematography were shot on film,
Uh-huh.
which is a pretty big deal considering how dominant digital has become.
It is huge. And
Yeah.
the reason seems to be this growing appreciation for the unique aesthetic qualities of film.
Right.
Cinematographers just rave about the texture, the grain, the organic feel of celluloid.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that digital, for all its advancements, still struggles to replicate.
So it sounds like they're seeking a more authentic, like less polished look.
I think that's a good way to put it, yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're embracing the imperfections and unique qualities of film to enhance their storytelling.
You mentioned the Aircam series being a favorite among the nominees.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you have the Brutalist, Maria, and Nosferatu,
Yeah.
all used cameras from the Aircam line.
Yeah.
And these cameras are renowned for their exceptional image quality and reliability.
Yeah.
They're kind of workhorses in the industry,
Yeah.
known for delivering those stunning visuals time and time again.
And then there's the Beaumont VistaVision we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Can you remind me again what makes it so special?
Sure. So the Beaumont VistaVision is a large format film camera that captures these incredibly high resolution images with exceptional clarity and detail.
Okay.
And it's surprisingly lightweight and compact for a large format camera.
Right.
So it allows for more flexibility during filming.
And I hear it played a key role in creating those stunning visuals of The Brutalist.
It absolutely did.
Yeah.
It was the perfect camera to really capture that grandeur and detail of the Brutalist architecture featured in the film.
Yeah, it's incredible how the choice of camera can so drastically impact the look and feel of a film.
It really can, yeah.
And then you have Maria, which went in a total different direction with the Kodak Super 8.
Right?
Right, the vintage camera.
Yeah.
What was the thought process behind that choice?
Well, you know, the Super 8 added this distinct visual texture to Maria,
Yeah.
bringing a sense of nostalgia and intimacy to certain scenes.
Right.
You know, it's a format often associated with home movies and experimental filmmaking.
Right.
So it gave the film this more personal and raw feel.
It's amazing to see how filmmakers are blending these different formats and technologies to create such unique visual styles.
It really is.
Yeah, it really showcases their creativity and their
Yeah.
willingness to experiment.
Mm-hmm.
And the Oscars are always a great platform to witness these innovations in action.
They are.
It feels like we're at a really interesting crossroads in cinematic history.
We are.
Yeah.
You know, film is experiencing this resurgence. AI is making its presence felt, and filmmakers are exploring new and old technologies to tell their stories in fresh and exciting ways.
So, what does all this mean for the future of filmmaking? What can we expect to see in the coming years?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
It's hard to say for sure, but I think we're moving towards a more diverse and inclusive cinematic landscape.
Right.
You know, we're seeing more stories from different cultures and perspectives, and technology is playing a crucial role in making that happen.
It's not just about the technology itself, but how it's being used to empower filmmakers and amplify their voices.
Right.
Right.
Technology is a tool.
Yeah,
It's up to us to use it responsibly and creatively to tell stories that matter.
that's a great point.
Yeah, I think so.
Technology has the power to connect us in ways we never thought possible. And that's what makes events like the Oscars so exciting.
Absolutely.
It's a celebration of human creativity and innovation.
Yeah,
And it gives us a glimpse into the future of cinema.
it really does.
So, from all we've discussed, what stood out to you the most?
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Was it a particular film, a technological innovation, or maybe a hilarious red carpet moment?
You know, I think what struck me the most is the resilience of film as a medium.
Okay.
In this digital age, it's inspiring to see these filmmakers choosing to return to the roots of cinema
Yeah.
and embrace those unique qualities of celluloid.
That's a great observation.
Yeah, I think so.
It's not about choosing one over the other, but rather finding the right tools to tell the story in the most effective way.
That's it. That's the key.
Yeah.
That's what I love about this industry.
Yeah.
It's constantly evolving.
Yeah.
And there's always something new to discover.
Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
I think so too.
From the Oscar highlights to the latest tech trends, we've explored it all.
It's been fun.
It has been.
Yeah.
But before we wrap things up, I have one final question for you.
Okay, shoot.
Do you think AI will eventually replace human actors and filmmakers altogether? That's the question that's on everyone's mind these days, isn't it?
It really is.
While AI is certainly capable of creating impressive visuals
Yeah?
and even mimicking human performances,
Yeah.
I believe that there will always be a place for human creativity in storytelling and filmmaking.
I agree.
You know, there's a certain magic that comes from human expression and emotion
Yeah.
that AI, at least for now, can't fully replicate.
Right.
Yeah, AI can be a powerful tool for filmmakers,
Yeah.
but it's ultimately up to humans to guide its use and ensure that it serves the art of storytelling.
Well said.
I try.
I think that's a great note to end on.
Yeah,
Technology can be a powerful force for good, especially when it comes to storytelling.
absolutely. You know, it can break down barriers and connect us in ways we never thought possible.
Right.
And that's what makes the Oscars so exciting. It's
Yeah.
a celebration of human creativity and innovation.
Yeah.
And it gives us a glimpse into the future of cinema.
Well said. So, what stood out to you from all of this?
Let me think. Was it a particular film, a technological innovation, or maybe a hilarious red carpet moment?
You know, I think what struck me the most is the resilience of film as a medium.
Okay.
In an age where everything is digital,
Yeah.
it's inspiring to see filmmakers choosing to return to the roots of cinema
Yeah.
and embrace those unique qualities of celluloid.
Right.
It's a reminder that tradition and innovation can coexist and even enhance each other.
That's a great observation.
Yeah.
It's not about choosing one over the other, but rather finding the right tools to tell the story in the most effective way.
Exactly. That's what I love about this industry. It's constantly evolving, and there's always something new to discover.
Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have.
From the Oscars highlights to the latest tech trends, we've explored it all.
It's been a fascinating journey,
It really has.
and I hope our listeners have enjoyed it as much as we have.
I think they have.
Yeah, I hope so.
Me too.
I had a good time.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, it really is a fascinating time for film right now. It's like we're standing on the edge of a whole new era of cinematic expression.
It really does feel like we're on the cusp of something big. And with that in mind, let's dive a little deeper into those game-changing camera choices that we touched on earlier.
Yeah.
The fact that the majority of the best cinematography nominees were shot on film is a pretty big statement, wouldn't you say?
It definitely sends a message, yeah. It
Yeah.
seems like after years of digital dominance, filmmakers are rediscovering the beauty and the unique qualities of celluloid.
You mentioned earlier that cinematographers talk about film having a certain texture grain and organic feel that's hard to replicate digitally.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that a bit? What exactly are they referring to?
Well, think about it this way. Film captures light differently than digital sensors do.
Okay.
With film, you're working with actual grains of silver halide,
Okay.
and they react to light, creating this subtle texture and a depth that's often described as having a more, organic feel.
Yeah.
Digital sensors, on the other hand, they capture light as pixels, which can sometimes result in images that feel a bit too clean or sterile.
Ah, I see. So it's almost like the difference between a hand-painted portrait and a digital photograph.
Exactly. There's a certain warmth and richness to film that many filmmakers just find really appealing, especially when they're going for a more cinematic or classic look.
So when a cinematographer chooses to shoot on film, it's not just a technical decision, but an artistic one as well.
Precisely. And it's not just about the overall look either. Different film stocks have different characteristics that can be used to achieve specific effects.
Cool.
Some film stocks are known for their fine grain, while others have a more pronounced grain structure. Some are better suited for low light conditions, while others excel in capturing vibrant colors.
Wow, so there's a whole science to it. It sounds like choosing the right film stock is almost as important as choosing the right lens.
It definitely is, yeah. It's a key part of the cinematographer's toolkit.
And you mentioned that the Aircam series was a popular choice among the best cinematography nominees. What makes those cameras so special?
Well, Aircam cameras have been an industry standard for decades. They're known for their reliability, their versatility, and their exceptional image quality. They're kind of workhorses that can handle a wide range of shooting conditions, from handheld shots in tight spaces to elaborate crane shots.
And we can't forget about the Beaumont VistaVision camera that was used to shoot The Brutalist. That's a pretty special camera, right?
The VistaVision is a bit of a legend in the filmmaking world. Yeah. It's a large format camera that's famous for its incredible resolution and detail. It's the kind of camera that can capture the smallest nuances of light and texture, making it ideal for shooting epic landscapes or showcasing those intricate details.
And yet it's still lightweight and compact enough to be used for dynamic shots, which is pretty impressive for a large format camera.
Absolutely. The filmmakers behind The Brutalist really wanted to capture the raw beauty of the architecture, and the VistaVision was the perfect tool for that job.
It's amazing to think about how much thought and consideration goes into choosing the right camera and lenses for a film. It's an art form in itself.
It really is. And then you have films like Maria, which use the Kodak Super 8 camera to achieve a completely different aesthetic.
Right, the Super 8, that
Yeah.
classic home movie camera. What was the thinking behind that choice?
Well, the Super 8 format is known for its grainy, slightly unpredictable look. It often evokes feelings of nostalgia and intimacy, which perfectly align with the themes and style of Maria.
Okay.
The filmmakers wanted to create a sense of realism and immediacy, as if the audience were watching a personal home video unfold.
It's fascinating how a simple change in camera format can have such a profound impact on the mood and tone of a film.
It really speaks to the power of visual storytelling and the creativity of filmmakers who are willing to push boundaries and experiment with different tools and techniques.
Okay, so we've talked about the cameras and the Oscars highlights. But let's go back to AI for a moment. We touched on some of the concerns surrounding AI in the film industry, but I'm curious about the potential benefits. Are there any positive aspects to AI that filmmakers are actually excited about?
Of course. While there are legitimate concerns about job displacement and the ethical implications of AI, there are also many filmmakers who see AI as a powerful tool that can enhance creativity and open up new possibilities.
For example.
Well, one area where AI is already making a big impact is in visual effects.
Okay.
AI algorithms can be used to create incredibly realistic and complex special effects that would have been impossible or prohibitively expensive to achieve with traditional methods.
So AI could potentially democratize filmmaking, giving independent filmmakers access to tools and resources that were previously only available to big studios.
Exactly. And it's not just about visual effects. AI can also be used to streamline the editing process, automate tedious tasks, even generate music and sound effects.
Wow.
This can free up filmmakers to focus on the creative aspects of their projects and potentially lead to more experimental and innovative storytelling.
It's like having a whole team of virtual assistants working behind the scenes.
That's a great way to put it. And while some people worry that AI will make films feel less human, others believe that it could actually lead to more personalized and emotionally resonant storytelling.
How so?
Well, imagine AI algorithms that can analyze audience reactions in real time and adjust the pacing, the music, or even the dialogue of a film to create a more engaging and immersive experience.
That's wild. It's like interactive storytelling taken to a whole new level.
It is. And some filmmakers are even exploring the use of AI to create entirely new genres of film, pushing the boundaries of what's possible in cinematic storytelling.
So while AI presents some challenges, it also offers a world of creative possibilities.
Yeah.
It's really up to the filmmakers to decide how they want to use this technology.
Exactly. And it's going to be fascinating to see how AI continues to shape the future of filmmaking in the years to come.
It's a brave new world out there in cinema land. Now, before we move on, I have a question about something you mentioned earlier, the Glambot. I have to admit, I'm picturing a giant robot with a camera for a head, but I suspect that's not quite accurate.
Haha, that's a fun image, but the Glambot is actually a bit more down to earth than that. It's basically a high-speed camera system that captures slow-motion video.
So it's the technology behind those mesmerizing slow-motion shots we see on the red carpet. The ones where the stars are twirling and their dresses are flowing dramatically.
Exactly. It's all about creating those visually stunning, shareable moments that capture the glamour and the excitement of the red carpet.
And you mentioned that it was originally designed for food commercials. That's quite a leap from burgers and fries to Hollywood stars.
It is, but it turns out that the same techniques that are used to make food look delicious in slow motion also work wonders on the red carpet. The Glambot captures those intricate details, the textures of the fabrics, the sparkle of the jewelry in a way that regular cameras just can't.
So it's all about highlighting the artistry and the craftsmanship that goes into those red carpet looks.
Absolutely. And it gives the viewers a chance to really appreciate the fashion and see it from a different perspective.
And you mentioned that Cole Walliser is the director behind the Glambot. What's his role in all of this?
Well, Cole Walliser is a visionary when it comes to capturing beauty and movement.
Okay.
He has a real knack for directing the stars and making them feel comfortable in front of the camera. He understands the chaos of the red carpet and knows how to create those intimate, captivating moments amidst all the frenzy.
It sounds like he's a master of his craft.
He really is. And the Glambot footage has become a staple of red carpet coverage, you know? It's changed the way we experience these events.
Well, I'm definitely going to be paying more attention to the Glambot shots from now on.
You should. It's a whole new way to appreciate the artistry of fashion and filmmaking.
It seems like technology is constantly changing the way we experience film, both on and off the screen.
It is, and it's an exciting time to be a part of it all.
Yeah, it really does feel like we're on the cusp of a new era in filmmaking with all these technological advancements and this renewed appreciation for like the traditional techniques.
Yeah, I think the key takeaway from this year's Oscars is that it's not about technology versus tradition, but rather finding that perfect blend of the two to tell compelling stories.
Exactly. It's like having a whole new toolbox at your disposal with both cutting-edge tools and, those trusty classics that never go out of style.
Right, exactly. And the best filmmakers are the ones who can seamlessly integrate those tools, using them to enhance their storytelling without, overshadowing that human element.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the Oscars and this fascinating world of film tech, what are your predictions for the future? What trends do you see emerging in the coming years?
Well, I think we'll continue to see a blurring of the lines between film and other forms of media like video games and virtual reality.
Oh, that's interesting. You mean like interactive movies where the viewer gets to make choices that affect the outcome of the story?
Exactly. And with AI becoming more and more sophisticated, we might even see films that are partially or even fully generated by
Oh,
algorithms.
wow. That's both exciting and a little bit mind-boggling.
It is, but I think the most important thing is that filmmakers continue to use these tools responsibly and ethically, ensuring that human creativity and storytelling remain at the heart of it all.
I couldn't agree more, and I think that's a great note to end on. Technology is changing the face of filmmaking, but ultimately it's the stories we tell and the emotions we evoke that truly matter.
Well said. It's been a fascinating conversation, and I hope our listeners have gained some new insights into the world behind the silver screen.
Thanks for tuning in. If you loved this Oscar special, like, comment, share, and subscribe for more show-stopping tech chats.